deceased at this location. It appears suspicious. We have several detectives from the crime scene attend. Copy that.
Robin Cochrane single-handedly won the match in 1976. Saved us from a humiliating defeat in 1977.
Malcolm, he played like a dog in 77. I'm sorry.
You're wrong, Steve.
No,
I
I'm
don't
not.
believe you two.
She never played a game of rugby.
Come on, you must have once in your life.
No, we had this thing called a backyard with
No, the only
swings,
reason you went into the
cubby
backyard was
house.
to replay some of the old Cochrane magic.
So since he stopped playing rugby, what's he been doing?
Chemical business. He's a major benefactor to a number of charities, mostly to do with kids. In the past few years, he's made a lot of money, public speaking, motivational seminars, that sort of thing.
Inspector Thorne, Detectives Hayden and Vance from Homicide.
Okay, go.
Well, at least you wouldn't have to walk them.
Bet he wishes he bought those new pyjamas.
Did he?
That's him, that's our boy. What have we got, Tootsie?
Well, Mr. Cochrane had a triple bypass some time ago.
Yeah, but we're not talking about a heart attack here.
No, that's right. The GP that was called didn't think so, but let's wait and see.
This carries the distinct smell of some sort of chemical.
Was he poisoned?
Certainly looks that way.
Yes, but look, I can't imagine that he wouldn't have smelt the chemical. It's very strong.
Well, after 2 bottles of champagne, you'd wake up with the dry horrors and drink it before you'd realise.
Voice of experience.
What did I tell you? Man of the match, 77. Who called the doctor?
Oh, his wife. Apparently, the deceased was late getting up this morning, so she called for a Vincent Frangeli to come and wake him up. He appears to be some sort of employee.
It's strange that the wife didn't notice anything unusual when she first got out of bed.
She and the children sleep in the other wing.
Uh-huh.
I can smell perfume.
Yeah, Tessa. Actually, I haven't processed that side of the bed
right,
yet.
sorry.
Thank you. You're right. Imogen, have you finished with the body? I would like to move it.
Yes, I have finished quite some time ago, Lance.
Oops. Maybe last night there was a marital reconciliation.
Dee, come and get this, will you?
Do we know anything about the marriage?
It seemed to have a happy public face.
So either Robin was having an affair, or his wife had good reason to lie about not being in his bed last night.
Well, I've got meetings from 11, so over to you.
All right, see you later.
Well, the deceased bedmate had long blonde hair.
Do you know if the wife has blonde hair?
Robin came home briefly around 7, said hello to the children, and then went to his room. I assume he got changed, and then Vincent took him out.
Do you know where he went?
No. No, you'll have to ask Vincent. He's around here somewhere. Oh, there.
Mrs. Cochrane, you said to one of the other officers that you and your husband sleep in separate bedrooms?
Yes, that's correct.
So you didn't sleep in your husband's room last night?
No, I didn't. Was there another woman with Robin last night?
We think it's possible. We found some underwear in the bed.
A red G-string. That wouldn't belong to you, would it, ma'am?
No, it would not.
I know this is extremely difficult, but do you know if your husband was having an affair?
Robin and I had been having some difficulties. Occasionally, he had people back to the house. But I don't know who they were. Are you sure the doctor hasn't just jumped to the wrong conclusion? I mean, Robin had been very sick. His heart...
Well, at this stage, we know it wasn't a heart attack. We'll know more after the autopsy.
No one said anything about an autopsy.
Well, it'll help us establish a cause of death. Now, I'm sorry, Mrs. Cochrane, but we'll need to take official statements from everyone else here last night.
Oh, my daughter Brodie's at school. She left before we found him.
And Vincent Frangeli?
Oh, Vincent lives here.
I dropped Robin at the casino around 9. An hour later, he came out with a blonde woman. I drove them back here, watched the video with Diana, locked the place up, and then I went to bed.
Do you know the woman?
Never seen her before.
So this was a new relationship?
Well, none of them got very old. Robin would see them a couple of times and then move on to someone else.
Can you give us a description of this woman?
Not really.
Why is that?
It was pretty dark. I was double parked, so I was more interested in getting out of there before I got booked.
And there's nothing you remember about her, her age, what she was wearing?
Nothing out of the ordinary.
And what happened this morning?
I was surprised when I woke up. Robin usually buzzed me and I'd drive whoever he was with home. He tried to get him out of the house early. He tried to... Oh, be careful around the kids.
But not so careful around his wife.
I didn't understand it either. But it was their business.
I'd like to pick Brodie up from school. Then, if it could be arranged, Detective, I'd like Daniel's interview over and done with. He has an ear infection. He shouldn't even be out of bed.
Yeah, fine.
Get it into position there, thanks, Constable.
Stupid thing.
Just secure it, will you?
Yes, sir. Give you a grate while I'm at it, sir.
You need a hand, Constable?
It's done.
Perfect. Up you go.
Me?
Yes, but you don't expect me to do it, do you? Come on, up you go. I haven't got all day. I'll tell you when to stop.
Hate ladders. Did you find anything?
Well, no footprints. The storm took care of that. I mean, there was so much water coming down here last night. Anything that was there is gone.
Gee, it's really quite lovely up here, isn't it?
The grounds are quite beautiful, really. There's a set of rose bushes over in the centre there my father would absolutely kill for.
Oh, yes. It's lucky they survived a storm.
Oh, I tire.
Oh, that's it, Constable. No need to overdo it.
He didn't say stop.
Right, now look, do you think you can manage it?
If I moved up a bit, no problems. There's nothing from the top rung even a child could do it.
Right, well, we have established that it can be done. Terrific.
Hey, could someone hold the ladder, please?
Oh, sorry, Constable.
There's a kid at my school who used to do that all the time. I could never work out why I'd want to hurt himself.
I'm not hurting myself.
No? I'm sorry about what happened to your dad.
You know why I'm not hurting myself? Because I don't feel pain. Not my whole body. And you could take out your gun and shoot me in the arm, and I wouldn't feel a thing.
Brodie, this is Detective Vance.
Oh, Brodie, I'm sorry about your father.
Don't be. He was a pig.
Did your father ever talk about having a fight with someone? Any angry phone calls, anything?
My father and I didn't swap troubles.
Why was that?
You obviously didn't know my father. He did more harm than good, and whoever killed him was doing everyone a favour.
So, do you think your father deserved to die?
I don't know. But it's done now, and if you're waiting for me to break down and cry about it, it's not happening.
Did you hear anything unusual last night, Brodie? People talking, anybody moving around, that sort of thing?
No, I slept through the whole night without waking. I had an exam to do this morning.
So, you don't know if your father had any company in his room last night?
I just said I slept through the whole night, didn't I? Dad had his life over here. Vincent looked after him and Mum. Me and Daniel, we look after ourselves.
Okay, Daniel, can you tell us when you saw your father last?
Sweetheart? Daniel saw him briefly when his father came home, and then he went to bed. That's it.
Is that right, Daniel? And what about during the night? Did you hear anything unusual, anything out of the ordinary?
I got up to go to the toilet. I heard Mum telling Vincent about Dad and me fighting.
What did you and your dad fight about?
Dunno. I wanted him to stay home, but he wouldn't. He didn't care what day it was.
Yesterday was the anniversary of our youngest son's death. In the past, we've had a dinner to mark the occasion.
Why don't you ever let me talk?
Oh, I'm sorry, darling. I'm just worried about you. You should be in bed.
I don't want to be in bed. That's your answer to everything. You didn't even ask him to stay home. Why didn't you? Doesn't matter how angry you are or anything. You just go and hide in your room. You didn't even stop him from going out last night. You never do anything.
I'm sorry, Daniel. I'm sorry. Please, can we stop this?
You've been working for the Cochrans for about 12 months.
About that. But I wouldn't strictly say I was an employee. I've known Robin and Diana for a long time.
But they paid you a wage?
Yes, but... yes.
But what?
I wasn't Robin's servant. I was his friend.
Yeah, I'm just clarifying for the record.
Vincent, you said that you locked up the house before going to bed last night. Yes. Looks like there's pretty good security at the house.
Yes, Robin had it installed when he first bought the place.
So assuming Robin didn't let his blonde companion out last night, how did she get out of the house?
Well, normally it'd be pretty difficult. But last night the blackout from the storm disabled the alarm systems and sensor lights.
But all of the doors on the house have key locks, don't they?
Yes.
So it'd be a pretty big ask to get anyone in or out of the house without a key.
I guess so.
Tell me, were you aware of Robin's habit of drinking water through the night?
He said the heart medication he was on made him thirsty. So I made sure there was always a carafe of water in his room.
I got the results back on what poisoned Robin Cochrane.
Oh, right. Mrs. Cochrane, before you go, can you tell me if you keep any plastic solvents around your home?
It's over here somewhere.
No, please, Mrs. Cochrane. We can't let you touch that. We don't want any fingerprints interfered with.
Sorry, I wasn't thinking. But my fingerprints will be on it already. Vincent and I have used it around the house.
Well, we still don't want any prints muddied up.
Is this cellar usually locked, Mrs. Cochrane?
Not usually. The children are old enough now to know what they should and shouldn't touch. Have you any idea who would have murdered my husband?
We'll notify you as soon as we know anything.
She's nervous. All right, look, I'm going to go and check out the casino that Vincent was talking about, see if anybody can remember who was with Robin last night.
What kind of woman lets her husband have affairs on her own roof? Why would you put up with it?
Either because you love him too much to make waves or you don't love him at all anymore.
I'm sorry, but the police have asked me not to speak to the media at this stage. I have no idea who she is. Well, that's something you'll have to take up with them. Sorry about that. Quite a handy word, isn't it? Friend. We'd like to talk to you about your husband's friend.
Must be very difficult for you.
I should have known it would all come out. Nothing can be done to stop it, I suppose. Not really defamatory. Anyway, most of what they're saying is true.
What's true?
Please, sit down. If these fumes get too uncomfortable, feel free to open the window. I suppose you must think me a terribly weak person.
Why would I think that?
Despite his faults, I loved my husband very much. Robin had a voracious appetite for life. He never did anything by halves. And when you were the thing of the moment. But he grew bored with people very quickly.
Do you feel that's what happened with you?
I suppose so. It happened to all the people in Robin's life. But he always came back to me eventually. This must seem very unliberated. There. A little bit of hard work. Soon back to its original condition. Would you mind seeing yourself out? I'd like to get this finished.
The solvent which killed him is called...
Tetrahydrofuron.
It's going to be chilly in there. You need to ingest 3 milligrams of the chemical per kilogram of body weight, so Robin would have needed to drink about 200 mils. The chemical attacks the central nervous system first, so he would have started to feel dizzy, possibly experience blurred vision, loss of coordination. His blood pressure may have shot up rapidly. It would have become very difficult to breathe. He would have felt like he was choking. The lack of oxygen eventually leading to a cardiac arrest. Somewhere between midnight and 3 a.m.
Would he have known he was dying?
Oh, yes, I think you could safely say that he knew he was going to die.
So to anyone watching, the mystery blonde, for example, it would have looked like he was having a heart attack.
Well, supposing she was still there.
Yeah.
It's definitely the nose. There's something not right about the nose.
Take your time. Mr. Wilkie, this is Detective Vance, Detective Hayden.
How you doing?
Mr. Wilkie's a taxi driver. He picked up a blonde in the vicinity of the Cochrane household earlier this morning. Dropped her off in the city. She went to a nightclub. We don't have her known address, but we're questioning the bar staff. How did you go at the casino?
Well, it's like everybody who was working there last night had blindfolds on. No one remembers the blonde or Cochrane at all.
Do we know what time the taxi picked her up?
Around 3:45.
So the blonde was with Robin Cochrane when he died?
I want the photo released to the papers as soon as possible. I want the blonde in here.
The red G-string is manufactured in Hong Kong. Now, the garment is sold by only 2 mail-order companies in Australia. Pretty dodgy companies. They were very keen to help.
I wonder why.
They'll be sending us a customer list. Now, what was it you're after, Tess?
The water carafe.
Ah, yes, the water carafe. There were no traces of chemical in the carafe. So the poison has been added directly to the glass of water that the victim drank from.
Right. Would it be possible to see the crime scene drawings?
Yes, certainly. What are you getting at?
Well, I was just wondering if it was possible to get the poison into the room any other way than through the bedroom door. I mean, how far is the window? Could you reach the bedside table from the window?
Yes, well, you know, I thought that would be interesting to find out myself, so I did a bit of a reconstruction. A few calculations. Now, you can see here that there is half a metre between the windowsill and the bedside table. Now, it's certainly possible that the killer used the ladder, which we found near the garage. It's large enough for someone like Dee to be able to manage.
And high enough for someone like Dee to break a neck on.
Yeah, well, high, yes. Long enough for the killer to be able to reach in through the window and pour poison directly into a glass.
Hello? I want to speak to someone about Robin Cochrane.
Even if the killer poured the poison from the window, he'd still have to get off the property. I mean, you saw the gates. Steve Hayden, homicide.
I'm the blonde woman you're looking for who was at Robin Cochrane's last night. I had nothing to do with his murder. All I know is that he was having a heart attack and I ran. Look, I had nothing to do with anything else.
Okay. But we'd still appreciate if you could come in and talk to us. We might be able to work out
I'm not coming in, okay? I had nothing to do with it, so just please stop looking for me.
The solicitor called. He wants to see me tomorrow. Could somebody remind me? I'm just as likely to forget it.
Why don't I drive you in? No chance of forgetting it then.
I don't know what I'd do without you, Vincent.
Might have to start acting like an adult.
I'll get it.
No, it's right. Stay there.
Oh, Vincent, hello. I was wondering if you'd have a look at that. See if it could be the woman that Robin was with the other night.
Well, could be. Like I said, I didn't get a very good look at her.
Right. I'd also like to have another look at Robin before I go. Thank you. What are you doing in here?
I didn't touch anything, I've just been sitting here. He was such a hypocrite. All these women, this room, this bed. Yet I wasn't even mature enough to have a boyfriend.
It's probably a father-daughter thing. He probably never would have thought you were old enough.
There's never enough of anything in his eyes. You know, I didn't care that he didn't like me. I didn't like him. But he didn't need to be so honest about it. Dad was so good at pretending to everybody else. Maybe if he'd been just a little bit better with us, this wouldn't have happened.
What do you think happened to him?
I think God looked down and saw him torturing us. Decided to teach him a lesson.
Place your bets? Would you like to place a bet, sir?
You hung up before we had a chance to talk properly.
After we'd made love, he went downstairs to get another bottle of champagne. When he came back, he seemed agitated, angry. Well, not with me, but something was up.
Did you ask him what was wrong?
Yeah, he said he didn't want to talk about it. He went into the bathroom and seemed to, I don't know, meditate or something. He was talking to himself. But when he came out, he was okay again.
Did you hear anything of what he was saying?
Well, not really. I started to think I should go, but he seemed to get over whatever it was. We finished the rest of the champagne and I must have fallen asleep. I'm not big on drinking.
What happened when you woke up?
Well, I thought he was having a heart attack. Later, when I heard on the news that he'd been poisoned, I kept thinking, what if I'd drunk the poison by mistake? What if it was meant for me? What if the wife was trying to kill me? Oh, God, I hadn't thought of that.
How did you get out of the house, Laurie?
What do you mean?
I mean, when Robin Cochrane was having his attack and you said you ran, where did you run to? How did you get out of the house?
Well, I don't know. It was dark. None of the lights were working. I found a door.
The same door you came in?
Yes.
The front door?
Look, I don't know, all right. I can't remember.
What about the fence? How'd you get over the fence?
I don't know, all right. Look, I don't see what difference it makes. I'd like to go now. I could get the sack for being away from work this long.
I'd like to take you through the Cochrane house.
Is she here now?
In the car.
Well, just get it over and done with. I want her out of here.
Miss Baker, could you tell us what happened after the point where you woke up in Mr. Cochrane's bed?
Well, I was having this dream. I thought I heard him calling out to me, but it wasn't my name. Diane or something.
Diana. It's the victim's wife's name.
Anyway, then I woke up. He was laying on his back. His whole body was sort of shaking. I asked him if he was all right, but it was like he couldn't hear me. I got out of the bed and came around to this side. I tried to think of something to do, mouth to mouth or something.
But what?
I couldn't touch him. I just kept looking at all those scars on his chest, and there was this sort of spit dribbling out of his mouth. Then he went still. With all those scars, I just thought he'd had a heart attack, so I grabbed my stuff and I ran.
What about your underwear? A red G-string?
It was nothing to do with me. I had all my things, then I got a cab.
And how did you get out of the house?
I came out here, but it was really dark. I couldn't see a thing.
You got out somehow. We have to work out where.
Well, I thought there was a door leading outside, somewhere around here.
But there isn't.
No, there's not. Look, I don't know, all right. Maybe I went out the back door.
The back door has a deadlock. Do you have a key?
No.
No, so if you didn't get out the back door, how did you get out of this house, Miss Baker?
Sorry, I'll get out of your way.
Vincent! They want to know how I got out of the house. Well, say something! You're the one who got me into this stupid mess.
Laurie came to my room, we went back in there, and Robin was definitely gone. Everyone had been expecting him to have another heart attack for ages.
So in the morning you just pretended the incident with Laurie never happened?
I didn't think it'd make any difference. I thought the doctor would come, confirm the heart attack, and the whole thing would be over.
If it was as simple as that, why did you lie to us about Laurie?
I didn't think she needed to get caught up in it. She was just doing a job. She didn't want people to know what she was doing. She said it made her feel like a prostitute.
But she did it anyway.
She needed the cash. I was doing her a favour. She's got a little daughter to look after.
So Robin Cochrane paid women for sex?
Not money. He usually gave them jewellery, stuff that could be easily hocked.
And what did you get out of the arrangement?
Nothing.
Nothing. Just did it out of the goodness of your heart.
Robin... He used to be the centre of attention. He could have anyone he wanted, but he's not so special anymore. No one's interested in a fat old man who used to be a football star.
So you started organising women for him?
I set things up for him so he didn't have to tell them himself. Didn't have to say, I'll pay you to sleep with me. But you probably wouldn't understand what that's like, would you, Detective?
I've got a reasonably good imagination, Mr. Frangeli.
I did it because Diana is my friend. I didn't think she needed to know that Robin was paying to sleep with other women.
Are you in love with Diana?
No. But she deserves to be treated better than Robin treated her.
What you have in front of you is a blank sheet of paper. I want you to write down all of the things that have stopped you from achieving your goals. And they're not successful because of one fundamental problem. It's a 6-letter word. Denial.
It's weird. He's funny, he's smart. I'm looking at him and I almost find him attractive, even though I know he was a sleaze.
Robin Cochrane was the hero to a lot of people, do you?
Not to his kids, sir.
So do you think the son and daughter were capable of killing him?
Well, angry son, angry daughter, angry wife, angry friend. And it's been going on a long time.
I want you to look back at that paper, at the reasons you listed that you blamed for your failure. Now, amongst the a dog ate my essay and a bomb fell on my prototype, I want you to look for the words, it was my fault. And I'll give $100 to anybody who's written it down. I want you to look at that word that I asked you to write down before. Denial. You people are in denial. Denial. It's going to keep on costing you. It's going to ask you to reprioritise your life. You've got the ball, keep focused. Everyone around you is trying to distract you.
What is it?
List of the customers who bought the red G-string.
What's on it?
Not what. Who?
Brody.
Can we come in?
Sure, Mum's having another psychotic episode. She chucks Vincent out, no explanation, no nothing. Let's get on with the decorating.
Do you recognise those?
Brody? Should I?
I would have thought so. You bought them.
Is it a crime to buy underwear now?
Where did you buy them, Brody?
A shop?
Which shop?
Where did you get them from?
I would have appreciated being told that you were coming. What's that doing here?
We have some questions to ask Brody.
Which shop?
This underwear is
A
yours?
shop in the city, I can't remember.
You can't buy them in a shop, Brody. You buy them via mail order.
Look, I'm afraid these questions are going to have to wait. I didn't realise what time it was.
The clock's wrong, Mum. It stopped in the blackout the other night. But you wouldn't notice something like that, would you? You never notice anything like that, do you? You never notice anything about me.
I'm not prepared to have an argument, Brody.
No, you never are. You don't care about me and you don't care about my life.
If this interview is going to continue, I'll need to reorganise an appointment I have.
Stop looking at me! You're always wandering around with your eyes half closed, So you can act all shocked and horrified when something goes wrong.
I slept through the whole night without waking. I had an exam to do this morning.
He went downstairs to get another bottle of champagne. When he came back, he seemed agitated, angry.
Didn't even stop him from going out last night. You never do anything.
The clock's wrong, Mum. Stopped in the blackout the other night.
I've got enough to deal with.
Mrs. Cochran, I've just got a few more questions for your daughter, please.
Brody, you didn't sleep all through the night, did you? You got up during the blackout. Your father came out for the bottle of champagne, saw you. You had an argument. You argued about your boyfriend, Vincent. You saw the underwear in one of Vincent's magazines. Did you buy it to make Vincent happy?
When Dad saw us together, he was really, really angry. He said that he was going to send me to boarding school and that we'd never see each other again. He started shouting at Vincent and I couldn't... I couldn't let him do that to us. So I put the stuff in his water.
What did you put in his water?
Poison. I poisoned him.
And where did you get the poison from?
I found it.
Where?
Brody?
What did Robin Cochran say to you when he came out in the middle of the night and found you with Brody dressed in a G-string?
He didn't understand. It isn't like that.
And what is it like, Vincent?
Brody and I are in love.
So what happened after he found you together?
He told Brody to go to her room. I tried to explain that we'd been waiting for the right time to tell him and Diana. I hoped that if we waited until she was a bit older, that they might be happy for us. Robin just laughed at me and said that I'd totally misunderstood our relationship, that he paid me to keep his wife company, to drive him around, and the reason that he paid me was so that I'd know where the line was.
And that made you angry?
Of course it made me angry.
Brody's just confessed to murdering her father. It wasn't her, was it?
No. I did it. I climbed the ladder and I put the poison in his glass of water.
And why did we find Brody's underwear in her father's bed?
I put it there. I thought people would see it and think prostitutes, too much excitement, heart attack. I did everything for Robin. I thought I'd get something back eventually. I thought Robin appreciated me, but he didn't. He played with me the way he played with the people that bought his motivational tapes. I didn't realize it, but Robin was using me the whole time. Enough.
I'm asking.
No, thank you, Dee. I'm tired and I just want to relax.
You almost won last time, mate. You were so close.
It's got nothing to do with who wins, Dee. It's just a game, all right?
You're in denial.
What?
That's right. Denial.
Thank you for the psychoanalysis, Dee, but I am still not in the mood for a game of pool. Thank you.
Still smarting after the last feat, hey, Dave? Scotch thinks straight. What would you like?
As a matter of fact, Fisk, I don't think I've ever seen you at the pool table.
No, you haven't. Before you go casting nasturtiums,
Here
I think
we
you
go.
should know that I happen to be a very good pool player. In fact, I had something of a reputation in my younger days.
Yes, was it for pool, Liz?
Well, amongst other things, yes.
Great. I'll rack up the ball, shall I?
I think not, Dee.
Come on.
Dee, give up.
Scared I'll win, Sergeant.
I beg your pardon.
Denial, Fisk. Simple six-letter word. It will get you every time. Yes.